That's what I was saying about a restoration of the Constitution. This is the closest thing that is actually going to make that happen when you look at all the things that have been taken away.
Yeah, hi, Carey, and Casper, this is Shane out of, and I got some good news out for you on Channel 10. Hallelujah! On Channel 10, they're saying that Prop 203, you know, they've still been voting on that. I didn't know. I thought it went away. It is now ahead by 4,000 votes, and they've only got 10,000 left to count.
Well, good.
And they say that by the end of tonight or maybe tomorrow, they should have a finished product on that. So I thought Prop 203 had been defeated here in Arizona, but I guess not. They just that just came on the television, Channel 10. So we are ahead by 4,000 votes, and we got 10,000 more to count. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's light another bowl. And
how sad that we even have to have a vote for something like that.
Well, you know, we don't have to, Carey. You know, I was kind of kidding, but not really kidding about this hallelujah stuff. You know, there's no law that says we can't grow or do anything in this country, actually, unless there's a damage made. But this plant here, it's criminal that it is not being grown. And I think the DEA and Eric Holder should be charged with treason against the American people for aiding and abetting our enemies of liberty by keeping us from growing this plant, which, like you just pointed out, and this is the reason I think Prop 19 lost in California, is because they focused too much on smoking. Okay? Now, I know it was a medical issue and everything, but for crying out loud, this industrial issue is way more important as far as bringing money into the country and stopping all this wasteful billions of dollars of wasted law enforcement money on this criminal war on drugs. The war on drug actually causes this crime by making it a prohibition. Wastes billions of dollars, and at the same time keeps law enforcement from going after real criminals.
That's true.
Well, now, a couple of things there, Shane, is one, South Dakota did get a industrial hemp bill passed, and they've been waiting almost 10 years now to get the DEA to get off their can and give them permission to start growing it, though they should just start doing it. And the second thing is, Shane, when I first met you back in 91, 92, you were saying how we needed to arrest all the members of Congress and the Senate for treason. And I thought, wow, you're really off your rocker there. But the truth is you're right, because these people know the truth. They know that you can make 50,000 different products. They know for a fact that they can free the entire country from dependency on foreign oil. They know for a fact they could take care of this unemployment problem and produce more jobs than we could even fill. But they are sitting there with the lobby money from the oil company in their pockets, and because we have the best Congress that money can buy, we really should take these clowns out and file charges against them and have them arrested for treason.
Well, you're right. The first way, there's many ways to go it. But one of the initial ones is we need to charge them all with misprision. That's a legal term, meaning that if you know of a crime that's being committed or has been committed, and you don't say something about it and bring it forward, then you are guilty of that crime, or at least of hiding that crime, and that's called misprision. And these people, there's no way in hell that they don't know this now. You know, that's the only rub there. You have to prove that they don't know. Well, there's no way anybody with half a brain in this complete planet doesn't know about the benefits of marijuana and hemp and cannabis. And so these people absolutely have been aiding and abetting the enemies of this country, because we're the only one on the whole planet that has this Constitution. These guys are aiding and abetting the enemy, and that's treason. And it's punishable by death. And I'm not saying that we ought to kill them. I think we ought to strip them naked and put them in those zoos that I was talking about the last time I was on. We should make them all run around naked, so we can all go there and watch them.
Tar and feather.
And Rosenthal called.
And tar and feather's good too.
Ed Rosenthal calls them medical terrorists because they don't let people have their medications. And they drive right in front of a medical marijuana dispensary to and from the halls of Congress there in Washington. And as they drive by the medical marijuana dispensaries on the way to Congress, and they walk into the halls of Congress and go, oh, well, there's no proven effects of any kind that demonstrate that marijuana has any medicinal benefits. Oh.
So they're human parasites is what they are. They've been sucking the lifeblood out of everybody in this country. And it's time for them to come down on them. Hey, listen to this. Schwarzenegger's on the way out, right? He's like a lame duck type of guy. He's always talking about being a girly man, right? He's a big, tough guy. Well, he should legalize this stuff as his legacy on the way out. And let him fight about it. He should make whatever they do, an executive order or whatever he should stand up and be a man and legalize this stuff for industrial use only. Let's have a first start here. And let's see if I challenge Schwarzenegger.
You know what he did, though, and it probably had a lot to do with why Prop 19 failed, but just a few weeks before the vote happened is when he passed that decriminalization law there in California, and where you face a $100 fine if you're caught with an ounce or less. And that probably had as much to do with anything as the whole thing failing, because a lot of people thought, okay, well, that's good enough. We don't need to come across and just give this, complete legalization over to them. And,
well, he's smart enough to be government, Carey. If he's smart enough to be governor, he knows what the Constitution says. And these guys are all guilty. They all took an oath to uphold and defend and support this Constitution, and they're all guilty of treason. They're all of them. Schwarzenegger, all of them. And we need to take them to court. And I'll tell you, everybody in this country, everyone in this country that smokes should drop their seeds on the ground. We should grow this thing all over the country.
Amen. Now, I got to jump in here because one thing I got to grow is cash, and I can't grow cash unless I do a commercial break. And I want to say I love my sponsors, and we've got room for a couple more people who might be interested in advertising on our program. You can contact us here, and we would love to help raise your voice and let everybody know about your product, and let everybody also know that it really is time for hemp. Thank you for taking time for hemp. I'm your host, Casper Leitch. You are listening to the live broadcast of Time for Hemp all around the world on AmericanFreedomRadio.com and on AM/FM stations all across America. That song was played for my friends in Germany. I want to say thank you for your emails, and I want to thank you for using more English this time when you write to me. That makes it a little easier to read your remarks, and I'm glad that the programs that we are doing here in our country are helping to feed brains in yours, and give my love to the people there at the Hash Museum there in Germany. And it's nice to know that you are playing these MP3s to everybody who walks through your corridors. On the program tonight, we are talking about why it is we need to bring this plant back to the forefront. And it's not just for medical people. I mean, we've been talking tonight seriously about jobs, about products, and you're sitting at home looking at that pile of bills, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your mortgage. Your kids can't make it to college, and you can't find a job. And you want to know what you can do to make a difference? Well, okay, we smoke it. Get over it. Now, let's take it and use it to stimulate the economy. On the program tonight, we got Carey Burns from Cannabis Corner. I want to say thank you for being here, and Shane Eden, founder of the Tucson Hemp Coalition, and we are talking dollars and cents, aren't we, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Sure are. Germany, call in, Germany.
Hey, man, it'd be nice to hear from you.
Yeah, this is call-in night, isn't it? This is your second call-in night, right?
Yeah, it might be the last one. I don't know. I'll try it for a couple more weeks, see if anybody's interested. 402-237-2525. I usually have the phones off, so they're probably really, he's taking calls. But at the same time, the people at the DEA, you guys are being paid to listen. You might call in. I mean, we're talking to you anyway. You got some questions for sure. And Shane and Carey, I got a confession to make. I had to make a promise to Neil Franklin, Director of Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and Peter Criss, co-founder, that I would be more respectful of Eric Holder on the air because they are going to attempt to have a conversation with him, as well as the drug czar, Obama, and they're going to try to get members of their organization in front of a congressional committee and a senatorial committee as well. So since they're on every Wednesday night on my broadcast, just because Eric Holder is black and needs to realize that these laws are holding down the black community, and as a black man, it would make sense for him to end this prohibition. I'm not going to call him on that anymore.
Yeah, he's giving America a black eye, too.
Yeah, he is. But I'm not going to let up on the fact that we do need the Justice Department to pay attention and to quit doing silly things about, like, arresting medical marijuana patients.
Yeah, like unconstitutional
Go
things.
ahead.
We, the people, are angry at the DEA and all these people that are breaking the law. Our supreme law is the Constitution, and we are coming after the DEA. We are coming after these politicians, and we're taking them to our courts in this country. We're pissed off.
I say stop.
Don't you agree, folks?
Stop arresting anybody for cannabis, whatever they're using it for, medicinal, for their own personal use, whatever. It's their right. It's their choice. It's much safer than anything that's legal out there, particularly the prescription drugs and the alcohol and tobacco that's out there. So, it's people who...
Well, anybody... Go ahead, Carey.
No, it's their God-given right, and I don't, I think it's a crime. The crime itself is that they're being arrested.
Well, absolutely, Carey, and I know what the law is, and if you are arrested for any kind of marijuana usage of any kind, you need to know that you need to take whoever arrested you to court. You will win, because it's unconstitutional. You have the law on your side. These statutes and these policies and these laws that they have made up against marijuana are unconstitutional on their face, and we just have to do it. I'm serious, folks. I mean, we got to wake up and be Americans, okay? And I'm serious about this.
And I got to say, this is nice. I mean, even though people haven't called in, I've got to say, we do have a caller. It is nice because normally I just ask questions and shut up, and I have been waiting for years to be able to say that these people in Congress need to be arrested for treason. We do have a caller on the line from area code 303. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Casper, I'm here.
All right. Say hello.
Hello.
Who's
First time caller, Casper. This is Jimmy from Colorado.
Hi, Jimmy from Colorado. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you guys. Happy 420 every hour of the day.
Thank you.
I got a question. I got a question for your guest. He says we should stand up to the feds on the marijuana issues. Well, the feds claim that they weren't going to back off, even if Prop 19 did pass.
Well, that's right, I say that but it's just like when Prohibition happened. The states had to ratify each of their prohibition laws state by state before the federal government ever woke up, and that's exactly what's going to happen apparently with this issue, because the federal government's asleep, and like always, they don't care what the people are doing. So you have to go by the state by state process, but it shouldn't be happening at all anyway. I mean, that's the whole point. It's our right to grow this plant, to possess it, to use it, to do whatever. Put it in every square inch of garden space we have, if we so desire. Who are we hurting if we do that?
Absolutely, I agree. And as far as the state level goes, is it just as important to get the local sheriffs elected that are willing to fight the Fed?
Well, that's true too, because the local sheriffs actually have a lot of governing power, and they make a lot of decisions in those locales that do have an effect, even though it's a small one at the beginning level. But it's sort of an avalanche type thing. You start out with a little tiny snowball, and it builds up, and that's what you have to do. You have to do it on every level. And I'm like Casper says all the time. You tell everybody around you, wake people up to this. Everything you've been told has been a big damn lie.
Exactly.
That's right. They're liars. The Fed's liars. They're all unconstitutional. They can't supersede my friend from Colorado. They cannot supersede the supreme law of the land. These people are usurpers. It's exactly what they are.